and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
And I'm Michael Tanner.
And today we're going to be talking about 1979's Swap Meet.
Swap it in!
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the tea. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
What is set knockers?
I don't know. Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.
Hello, Mr. Man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore. What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creamed. And more.
So guys, we're here, I would say, a return to form for The Grindbin.
About damn time.
Chris is looking at the computer like we're not. He's looking at the recording device like something's wrong, wide-eyed, pressing buttons and everything, and then he gives me a thumbs up.
And so we're good to go.
We're good to go then?
All right. Yeah,
coming in
What did you
hot.
say,
but
man?
good.
I mean,
Was it just Tanner's mic not going to be recording the whole episode? And
No, he's good.
I'm good.
We didn't give him Hughes' mic, which is rigged not to record at all.
yeah,
Hughes is actually here. You just can't hear him.
Hughes is very happy because he was originally going to record this episode with us and the next episode we're
Yeah.
recording. We're doing a double header tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Just like these movies I'd imagine might be shown in the theater, double headers.
Yeah.
And we got to message him yesterday and tell him you're off the hook, and man was he excited.
Did he do that thing where he like kind of claps his hands after he hangs up the phone like I would usually do?
Like wash your hands clean of
Yeah.
it, like cha-cha, just done with it. I'm sure he did. So we got Tanner instead, who just within 12 hours had to watch
I
these
I
movies
banged
we're
both
recording.
these movies out.
Now this sounds like
Well, that's a common term heard in the Crown International Studios.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Believe it or
banged out
not.
the pom pom girls.
however, this is not the Pom Pom Girls. That's our episode
Wait,
we're recording
I'm sorry,
after
that's a
this.
spoiler alert. Go ahead and delete that.
Hey, yeah, little behind the curtain here. We're recording 2 episodes tonight, so
Doubleheader.
have fun with the first one.
Yeah.
You're probably confused as all hell because that other episode might not come out for weeks.
Yeah.
Hell,
Weeks.
maybe even months. Let's just
We're
delay
recording
It's gonna go in the vault.
tip to tip and hip to hip.
Yeah. So, but guys, today, Swap Meet, which is a movie I just found because of one actor's IMDb, and man, what a little hidden gem.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, man, but Tanner and I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I did.
I only know that because Tanner messaged me saying he enjoyed the movie.
I was 20 minutes in. I was sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the first 20 is great, and then I'd say the next 60 is fine.
It's fine.
It's livable.
Yeah.
It's livable by bin standards. It works.
Yeah, bin standards, as
Yeah.
we say. Yeah.
And then it ends really strong.
Yes. Yeah.
And then it just
mean,
ends.
It's got
It
a
just
first and a
literally
third
just
act,
ends,
and
yeah.
it's got something in between. So, the director of this movie, guys, Bryce Mack, very weird career. Very, very weird. He only directed 4 movies. This one, Half a House in 1975. Rooster, Spurs of Death in 1977. You guys want to know what that's about?
Is it
Yes.
a ripoff of Rooster Cogburn?
Oh,
and
no.
True Grit? No.
Tanner, this will be a future Grindbin episode.
Ooh.
Only because of its subject matter. Stoke and his son Wyatt take their prize roosters to a cockfight, only to find deceit and cheating by a competitor has forced them to lose their winnings. On the way, Wyatt learns about love from a runaway hooker, and that maybe the cocker trade is not right for him. So it's Cockfight the movie. Like we have to have it on the show. I mean, everybody loves a cockfight. That's all known from Grindbin.
Can we have actual cockfighters on the show to like?
Maybe we'll record it
refer?
at a cockfight.
Yeah.
Oh, field trip.
Maybe Tanner and you will each field cocks, and we'll make a ring. And
Now, when you say that, are we sharing a room?
yep. Whoops.
That is funny because I drove by a house in my neighborhood and there was a rooster on the front lawn.
Really?
Yeah. My wife does not believe me, but I was like, "Hey, there's a rooster," and she's like, "Shut up."
No, they're training.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the old LA cockfight.
It was like a Rocky scene. It was all running around.
Was it like it was punching little like squirrel carcasses, like a mini freezer?
Yep.
Yeah, and did he have like a Mick or whatever? Is that guy's name? His
Yeah,
trainer?
Mick.
Yeah. Did he have a Mick going like, "You got it, cock, you got
Yeah,
it"?
but it was one of those parrots that flies around.
Do you think he also has, his? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Is it Apollo? Apollo Creed.
Apollo Creed.
Okay.
Yeah, does he have his Apollo Creed, do you think? That cock?
Like a real showboaty,
Yeah, there's got to be...
Muhammad Ali inspired cock.
Yeah, I'm sure there is on the cockfighting circuit.
And then 20 years later, or 30, 40 years later, there's going to be a highly regarded movie about that rooster's child.
Yeah, and I think we should just cut to the chase and make that movie right now. Okay, guys, the other movie he directed was 1978's Jennifer, which you're going to keep hearing about again and again and again, but it's not even worth mentioning the plot or anything because it's just kind of,
Okay.
Before he directed movies, however, he was heavily involved in animation. He wrote 18 animated shorts, and he also worked throughout the 40s and 50s for Disney's animation department.
Oh, okay.
For every movie they made.
So was he also on strike at one time?
I have no idea, but he was the background artist
Oh, wow.
for movies like Snow White, Fantasia, Song of the South, Sleepy Hollow, Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and Lady and the Tramp.
Well, Song of the South, he had my attention.
Yeah, he did background artists for that. So
He was really good at drawing briars.
yeah, I guess so. I have no idea why he quit doing that in 1955. But like you're saying, man, did they go on strike in 1955 or something?
I think it was a little earlier.
Oh, well, he stuck it out, I guess. And then all of a sudden, he just started to direct movies at the age of 58. He was just like, you know what? No more drawing them. I'm going to make them.
With real people.
Yeah, with pawn. Like, basically, he just went to direct softcore pornos.
Oh,
After
wow.
all those years at Disney. He's like, one for them, some for me.
He worked for the D, then he made some for the D.
Yeah, that's right. That's how he pitched it, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Swap Meet is about a swap meet with a hooker and DeVito. Sold.
Yep, sign here.
Okay. He passed away in 2008. He was 90. So
Good full
Wow.
life.
Yeah,
Long,
that's great.
full life.
That's, I
Oh,
think,
the boners he gave.
Yeah, and boy, did he leave us with some interesting thoughts with this movie. As Tanner will tell you, there's a very interesting person who stars in this movie, and it's very, very upsetting that we see what happens with him. Very
Yeah.
upsetting.
well, I'd say, well, the person we just listed, I mean, he should get a Benny for being the longest living person that's ever been included on a Grindbin movie.
Well, actually, surprisingly, our next episode has somebody who lived longer.
Oh,
You'll get to hear all about that in weeks.
I thought
Past
Muggsy
90.
would have been the oldest.
you would
Oh,
think.
you're right. I don't know if did Ruth make it to 90?
No.
Or was she like,
Maybe
nah,
not.
We
too
can,
old?
Like 78, she was like, I'm good.
we can
Yeah,
ask
fuck
Bob Hope.
Oh, no. Oh, no. The writer and producer of this movie, Steve Krantz. He started his career producing cartoons, Mighty Thor and Spider-Man. And then he went on to produce Fritz the Cat and Heavy Traffic, as well as the Fritz the Cat sequel. Not the movie we covered, the Bakshi movie on this podcast, which was Coonskin. He did not do that one. But then he went on to produce drive-in movies and wrote only this movie, but has story credits on two other movies that are basically borderline softcore porns. Which is,
And didn't he do Cooley High?
he might have. I just didn't write it down.
I think
so.
I think that was weird that he did. I think he wrote Cooley High.
He did do Cooley High. Yeah, you're right. I didn't know anybody knew about that movie, so I didn't put it down.
Oh, well, I figured that's like a weird, like,
We found the Cooley High superfan? Is that what
yeah.
you're
Well,
saying?
actually, I've never seen it, but I always think it's like interesting. It's like, oh, it's like it is a drive-in movie, but for a black audience, which I can't think of any other like just a not teen, I guess teen drama,
Yeah.
like
That's cool.
sexploitation for a black audience.
So it's always one you've run across and you're like, I'll check it out.
I'll check it out.
I'll check it out one day. Guys, so top billing in this movie, and according to IMDb, is John Greers, who plays Doug. Grindbin All-Star. From Joysticks and another movie. I'm trying to remember what it was, but man, he has been on this show now 3 times. I know that for sure. Ruth Cox, who plays Nancy, or as I just write, Blonde Fangirl, because I didn't know she had a name. No. I didn't know. Actually, I don't know anybody
That's
that
the
has a
thing
name in
with
this movie.
This specific movie and also Pom-Pom Girls. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
We
anyone's
have to
70s
stop talking about
blondes.
Pom Pom
Okay.
Girls because this is not that episode.
I know, but I'm saying, but this
In
and that
general.
movie. I'm saying in general, both these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Names-
70s movies with blondes, all the blondes look the same and have the same personality.
It's
which
either a
is
Tina,
zero
a Tanya,
personality.
or a Titania. You know?
They
Or
got it
Christie. I
or
feel
a
like there's
Sally.
Christie's.
Or a Sally.
Sally, yeah.
They got it mixed up, though. The girls drive the van in this movie. It's like, no, you got it all backwards. Like, you're doing it wrong, Swap Meet.
They're turning the genre on its head.
You know, you're right. And maybe they were just being a little progressive.
Yeah.
You know? They're like, women like vans, too.
Yeah.
They can also drive vans and take people in the back.
They can also work a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has 14 credits, started her career in 1977 with a few episodes of the Hardy Boys Nancy Drew Mysteries. She was in the other film the director made, Jennifer, in 1978, then more TV, then this movie, then a movie in 1980 called The Attic, back to TV, and then retired in 1986 to get her PhD in psychology.
Oh.
And she now teaches at San Francisco State and still acts on occasion. So good for her. She got out of the game.
I sense an interview brewing.
Huh?
I sense an interview brewing.
Oh, I'm sure after starring in Swap Meet and
Yeah.
other various drive-in fare, she was like, I got to get out of here and get a PhD in psychology because...
I got to figure out what was wrong with me.
Deborah Richter, who plays Susan, or as I write, other Van Girl, because I did not know this girl had a name.
I knew her name. She stood out to me.
Oh.
Well, she's got some credits. And you might have seen her before. We'll get to it. The last credit I have written down. But let's start out. She has 56 credits, and she's still working. But now she's pretty much just only in short films and comedy skits. 1977, One-on-One. 1979, Hometown USA. The description of which: 3 1950s teenagers drive around, hang out, listen to music, and flirt with girls. Sounds like every goddamn
Pretty
Crown
much.
movie.
I was going to say, yeah.
But I was like, imagine pitching that.
It's got a listless plot.
So you walk into Mr. Crown's office, and he's like, all right, tell me what you got.
Well, we got a van. We've
Okay, money, how much?
Can you shoot it in a weekend?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you could shoot a double for me, right?
got a twofer.
I also got some footage we haven't used from another movie, so maybe you could throw that in.
We can just paint the van another color, you know?
Yeah, use the same van for all I care.
Yeah.
So 1980, she was in Midnight Madness, which is a movie that's come up on this podcast before. In 1980, a movie called Gorp. Now, I'm going to read you the description of this. A slapstick comedy about the wacky antics of a group of waiters at a Jewish summer camp in upstate New York.
Sold.
Wow.
Oh, those Jewish waiters, Tanner, you being Jewish, what could you tell us
Fun
about
fact,
Jewish
I'm
waiters?
not actually Jewish.
Oh,
Well.
he's told me that on an episode once.
Well, I just know that my Mr. Crown voice sounded a little Jewish.
Oh, okay.
But-
I always thought you were.
I
claimed to be Jewish.
once went to a Christmas party at a religious school, and walking through the door, everyone was like, "Oh, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas." I walked through, they go, "Happy Hanukkah."
Oh, okay.
So now you've just claimed it as your own. So what
Yeah.
can you tell us about those crazy Jewish waiters?
Well, I know that it comes up a lot. Dirty Dancing. That is a Jewish summer. It's not a summer camp, but it's like a summer resort. Wet Hot American Summer, which maybe this movie is one of the inspirations behind that.
It might be. Jewish summer camp.
Yeah.
Do you think there's something like some sort of matzo ball joke, where somebody puts their balls?
I got a matzo ball for you.
Yeah, there's gotta be,
and
right?
I bet you it's not kosher.
And you know who was doing those jokes? Because he stars in the movie? Dennis Quaid.
Oh, God.
I almost said Henny Youngman.
Take my balls, please.
Yeah, do some matzo ball in later.
She was in 1985's Hot Moves. And then she was also in 1989's Cyborg with Van Damme. She played the female love interest in Cyborg.
Okay.
That was like watching Swap Meet. I thought she looked really familiar,
Yeah.
and then when I saw that on her IMDb, I was like, "Oh, I can picture it," but I couldn't picture who. I could picture her in Cyborg, but not what she did in Cyborg. So she was
you're
the
like,
love interest.
Oh, it's that lady that was always with Van Damme.
Yeah, but is she? So that's weird because Cyborg is. When was Swap Meet? What year?
1979. So
70
10 years later.
10 years later. Like,
Yeah.
that girl is good.
I think she was just like...
I was a big fan of her in this movie.
And she's like the second build girl of this movie. They're like, yeah, she's the second one, you throw her out. That's how she's treated.
That's
It's terrible.
very true about.
She
Yeah,
can
it's
fall
really
in love
bad.
with the side character.
It's like, that one guy that nobody even remembers.
Oh
Remember
yeah, because
how
I don't remember that dude's name.
there's the jock guy, the quote fat guy,
Buddha.
and then the other guy. They should have given him something. Like, could you at least make him like a Jersey guy? Something, right?
Yeah.
He has
Why
no.
not?
He's just faceless, nameless man.
It's weird because they made Buddha the quote unquote fat guy and the Mexican like
That.
Cause,
Oh
'cause he's
my
supposed
god!
to, like,
he was supposed to be Mexican,
right? Because they go to hide out like with the Mexicans.
Yeah.
because they say that. So, they're hiding out with the Mexicans.
Yeah, or as they say, another term of this movie where it's
Yeah.
like, yikes.
Oh boy.
But yeah, they couldn't give an ethnic identity to the other guy. That's weird.
Yeah, the whole thing was odd.
Yeah.
We'll get into what I called those guys during the movie. But Tanner, you can take this one away. Danny Goldman, who plays Ziggy, 85 credits.
Oh man, the only credit of his that matters, and it's funny because his IMDb page does not have a picture of him. This is the guy who did the voice of Brainy Smurf on the Smurf.
Oh, no
cartoon.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. You see Brainy Smurf get a blowjob in this movie.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep, that's
Yep.
never going to get out of my mind now. He was also in Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I saw that too, but I cannot place him in that movie.
You know.
He's villager. Mike is emptying his pockets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
TSA just
I'm
came in
getting
the studio.
He's playing a medical student in that movie. He was also in the MASH movie.
Oh, he's the original Radar, right?
Oh.
I think so. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm not a big MASH fan, you know. Cheryl Rickson, who plays Annie, 10 credits. First movie was 1975's Plug, which is an Ozploitation sex comedy. Then they flew her over to America because they're like, get this girl on screen. And she was in Swap Meet, and then immediately in Robert Zemeckis' classic Used Cars. Then a 1994 Penthouse video.
Was it called Plug 2?
Plugged. 1995, I Like to Play Games is the title of that. Michael is looking for a woman who likes to play games, but when he finds Suzanne, she might be just a little bit more than he bargained for. I like to play games.
She's got broadband.
1996, Dark Secrets, and the last movie she was in was 2010 Scorpio Men on Prozac, which
They're catering to every market of person here.
yeah. Danny DeVito's in this movie.
Thank God.
Grindbin All-Star,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
The Van.
Uh-huh.
And his soon-to-be wife, Rhea Perlman.
I know. I was shocked when I saw her.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were both in Taxi.
Yeah.
And this movie was filmed after Taxi had been on TV. So obviously they're like, do you want to like spend a day being in this shit Swap Meet movie?
And put things down your blouse. Put some boxing gloves down there and...
Yeah. Rhea Perlman, I didn't even notice it was her until halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is she doing in this movie?
Because it's weird because she does. My image of Rhea Perlman is very tiny. Like she is just a
Yeah.
tiny woman. She didn't look tiny in the movie.
No.
No.
And like even just like height, but like she was fuller figured in the movie
Yeah.
and also didn't seem short.
Well, I found out she was standing on top of a stack of cats in a dress. Fun fact.
She basically plays the Catwoman,
She does.
like from The Simpsons.
Not the Catwoman from DC Comics, but
No.
the Catwoman from Simpsons.
Yeah, she basically just stuffs a whole bunch of shit in a really large dress
Yeah.
and walks around looking
Yeah.
like she's 400 pounds the whole movie. I was just like, what the hell attracted you to this movie other than like either coke or like a suitcase full of money for you and your husband? Like,
That's double up money, Rhea.
do you think, because they were married in, I think it was 1982, you think this is what sealed the deal? They were
Yeah.
like, you know what? I think we're made for each other. You, a dirty car mechanic. Which,
They
by
went
the
to the premiere together, and it was just their best first date.
do you feel like DeVito showed up dirty to set? Because for some reason he shows up doing a voice in this movie that you're just like,
I didn't know if he
whoa.
was doing a voice or if he had a cold.
I didn't. I was like, DeVito, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, either he put this stuff on himself so nobody would notice who he is. Like he just puts on a bunch of dirt on his face and does like some sort of Smurf voice. But he's also top billed in the movie because
Yeah.
they're like, with DeVito, like big letters and everything. They're
Yeah.
like, we got the guy from Taxi. Mark Lawrence, who plays Mr. Booth, or as I call him, Mr. Swap Meet, because I didn't realize he had a name. And by the way, the reveal at the end of this movie, wow.
Yeah.
He has 220 credits. Longtime character actor, major movies, Man with the Golden Gun, From Dusk Till Dawn, Diamonds Are Forever, and many, many more. He passed away in 2005. Oh, Chris, like you were just saying, here it is. 2005, he was 95.
Oh,
So
all right.
maybe the oldest binner.
Wow.
His last movie was Looney Tunes Back in Action, where he played the Acme VP.
Oh.
And then Greg Mamoli, Grindbin All-Star, guys. Lunch Wagon. Andy.
Let's just gloss right over that one.
He plays Andy.
Okay.
And he plays basically the same character in this movie. Fat guy who drives a truck who tries to violate women. Oh, by the way, this movie was filmed at a still operating swap meet.
Yep.
But is it still a drive-in theater, Tanner?
I think it is no longer a drive-in theater, but it's still at the grounds of the drive-in. I think they don't show movies, but it looks pretty much the same.
Is that sign still there at the front?
That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to know
the
too.
Rhodium swap meet in Torrance, California, and you will see Tanner and I there this weekend at 6 a.m.
Oh, cool.
You better be there, all of you.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like, and I told this to Tanner, I said, we might have to go there and record a mini bin at that swap meet, just walking around asking people, like, you got turtles?
If someone has, like, movie memorabilia, just ask them if they have swap meet posters.
Yeah. Do you think they have a big sign at that drive-in? And they're like, where swap meet was filmed?
God, I hope so.
No.
Home of the biggest swap.
No, they have that sign outside the van for the sex for $10.
I'm sure they do. So we get into the movie. Before we get into it, how would you describe the plot of this movie?
Meandering.
Squatting.
Because this is a classic 70s comedy where we wander around for about 50 minutes and then we're like, fuck, we got a movie. But boy, is it great. Yeah. We start out, guys, how many movies can say this? It has its own theme song.
Yeah, by Hemlock.
Whoa,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And we're playing it. We obviously played it at the beginning of this episode. I love this song.
It is a really
It
good
was
song.
great.
This movie starts out with the Hollywood side.
And I knew I was going to love it the moment we saw the shitty 70s broken down Hollywood sign.
With two guys stealing a piece
Yeah.
of it, which I'm like, did they actually steal a piece of the Hollywood sign? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they're taking a piece off it, and then you see these guys walk like, oh, that's just stock footage or something. No, because then we cut to them on top of the hill loading it in their truck going like, we're going to sell this at the swap meet.
Yeah. I'm so glad they called back to it later, too.
Okay,
Yeah.
how are you going to sell that? You're going to be like, this is from the Hollywood sign. They're like, bullshit, it is just a piece of metal siding.
Yeah.
How do I know it's part of the Hollywood sign? They're like, see, look at that gap.
Maybe they have like a before and after picture.
I was gonna, there's like a Polaroid of them like taking it down, like
we go.
standing next to it, smiling.
They're selling it for like $1 a piece, man. I'd buy a piece
Yeah,
of
it was like
Hollywood
$1 for like 5 inches or 6 inches or something.
Also, I mean, they're in Torrance. It's not that close. Like, it was a little bit of a drive to get to that swap meet.
So they got to cover their capital investment of gas and.
Also, doing it during the day seems like a real bad idea.
That's how bad LA was in the 70s. You could just drive up to the Hollywood sign, steal part of it, no one bothered you.
They're like, yeah, fuck it.
No.
So then we go to this lady waking up. Okay, so Annie, who is, for all purposes, a homeless hooker.
Yep.
Okay, so she apparently sleeps at the drive-in
Right.
on a cot in an office above the place, like where the projector would be. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's set up for somebody to live there. But
I think it's the owner's office.
yeah, well,
So-
just like in the 70s, every office has got to have a bed,
Yeah.
just in case. A little
Yep.
So she's staying at this swap meet, and we see her just wake up as somebody drives into the parking lot, and they wave at each other, and then we just see her doing jumping jacks
Exercises.
for like 3 minutes. I'm like, okay,
Yeah. You
I mean, that is, some of the best 3 minutes of the movie.
working at the swap meet.
I mean, don't you think you would notice someone living in your own office with the smell left behind of that's not you?
Oh yeah, and especially a homeless hooker. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, like just
What's this liquid?
what's this crusty cloth? Oh, it's panties.
I mean, guys.
What is this, old butter?
Yeah. So then we get to the truck guys, okay? That's what I just call them throughout the movie. I don't know if they have names. They just pull up. So the truck guys are the guys who stole the Hollywood sign. They pull up with these two girls with a broken down straight arrow on the side of the road. That's how this porno starts, okay? And this is what I have to say. For the first 20 minutes of this movie, everybody avoids walking into a porno. Like, the door is opened wide, and they're just like, nope, going the other way. And this one starts with two girls with a broken down car, and they're like, oh my God, can you help us? We don't know what we're doing. And then they're like, yeah, for money. And they're like, oh, we don't have any money, but maybe you can help us anyways. And they're like, fuck you, and then just drive off.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
they're like,
no, they're like, well, for trade. And the girls are like, fuck you.
yeah, they said they would help them for $10 an hour, and the girls are all upset. They were on their way to the damn swap meet. Come on.
We got turtles.
Yeah, so apparently these girls, the van girls, which every weekend they go to the swap meet and they sell turtles to pay for college.
The
So I
70s
guess-
were fucked up.
Yeah, the admissions for UCLA back then were a little, you know.
Because UCLA, I read they used to just take the turtles as part of tuition.
UCLA, USC, you know, you just traded turtles. Turtles for credit.
Then they tightened up around the early 70s.
This is no way to run a university.
Yeah.
We're not in a turtle economy.
All of a sudden, the people at USC just woke up. They're like, wait a second. We're a private university. We're in the middle of LA. We need to take ourselves seriously, okay?
Just get rid of all the turtles. All of them. I don't care where you put them. Just get rid of all the turtles. We are a cash business now.
There's just a room full of them. Just full of
The janitor just sweeps the turtles into a room.
Well, the turtles were diplomas at one point.
So the guys drive off. I guess they didn't realize it was started with pornos, right? I'm like, bad on them, right? Oh, well. Yeah. So then we go to the swap meet. Cars pulling into the swap meet at the drive-in. And holy shit is what I write. They need this at every swap meet. So Ziggy, the guy who lets the homeless happy hooker live in the drive-in,
Right.
is the DJ
Yeah.
/ assistant manager.
Which I don't think it really exists. You don't have a swap meet DJ, to my knowledge.
But I'm like, come on, let's get this going. This is
Yeah.
a great idea.
Yeah.
So he sits in the booth,
And he spins like he calls himself Ziggy the Biggie.
which by the way, he'll only say one time.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
But, I've been to swap meets or flea markets where there is like an announcer for like announcements. So I feel like maybe this wasn't that far off at the time of having like an actual DJ.
They should have a DJ at a swap meet. That makes so much sense because he's like, hey, we'll spin your favorite record. Here's Ziggy the Biggie.
Yeah.
Played by Brainy Smurf, by the way. So he's basically taking requests. And so the truck guys pull up and they're like, okay. He's like, it's $5 again. And they give him money. And he's like, oh, I don't have change. I'm like, fuck you. Give me like, and they're getting in an argument. And I'm like, no. I'm not on your side, Ziggy. Like, I know the truck guys are supposed to be our antagonists, clearly. But you need to give them change.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what obviously $5. He gave him a 10. He's like, no, you're good. I'll
Yes.
play your favorite record.
Yeah, he tries some weird bargaining, and fat truck guy is like, nah, just give me my change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's supposed to be that Ziggy is just cheap or skimming. Like he tries to scam on everyone.
I have no idea, but by the end of this movie, so much is revealed in literally the last 10 seconds of the movie that it'll make your head spin. And I had like a Scanners experience where I was just like,
It's like a Mos Eisley of swap meets.
because I'm like, did I miss something? Like, yeah, Ziggy, we're after your money, honey, as Ziggy the Biggie. That's what I'm talking about. Swap meet DJ.
Yeah.
So then we cut to Annie, and so this is when you first learn that she's either given massages or hand jobs, but we don't know what yet.
Yeah, they did a good job of making you pretty sure that she was a prostitute, but I kept expecting there to be a twist. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Yes.
misunderstood the situation, but
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was like a little red herring for the audience. It's like, I bet you think she's a hooker, but you're wrong. You're a dirty... No, she's a hooker. So some guy comes up to her and he's like, hey, Annie, how about a little date tonight? You want to during the movie? Because apparently during the double features, she's going around to various cars and doing the deed.
Yeah.
yeah, and she has appointments, so it's like in the first 5 minutes of the first
Yeah,
movie,
the
and then like,
5
oh, at intermission, I'll be over.
By Act 2,
I think she plays that song, working at the swap meet and doing it in fast food. Come on. And so he asked
God.
for a date. And this way, I go, wait, he's asking for a massage or something? Because it sounds like, because she also gives massages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, so he wants a massage. And then she says during the intermission, but okay. And then I said, again, he didn't realize he was walking into a porno. She says like, oh, but maybe during the intermission, but the lights will be on, but maybe we can hang out and, share a popcorn. We'll split the price of a popcorn. And, I got a joint we could smoke. And he's like, no, that sounds like crap. I'm just like,
he's like, that sounds like the boyfriend experience to me.
yeah, he's like, no.
Yeah.
Put a ring on it, huh?
Not what I'm here for.
What, am I going to meet your parents next?
We're gonna learn your last name.
Yeah, he didn't want any attachments, you know. So then some other guy comes up asking for a massage during the second movie, and she's like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, oh, can I borrow money to pay for my own massage?
Yeah.
And then she goes, yeah, you know where I keep it, because her hands are full. And again, this man, and I write, what? At this point I just write, what the fuck is this place? Because the next thing we see is a man digging through a woman's shirt, not with his hands.
No, he goes full face.
Yeah.
We see a man press his face up against a woman's chest and dig his hand in at the same time and doing like a motorboat action.
Yeah, it's like she could just drop the thing she was holding on to, set them down, and get it for him.
But she's just like, oh, and then he goes, it's for my mother.
And she's very sympathetic to like, oh, you're such a sweet boy.
Take 10.
Take
Your
10.
mother deserves a good gift or something like that.
I'm like, huh. Then we cut to the van girls. They pull up to so now they're in there setting up their turtle table. And then we get the introduction of this gypsy palm reader lady. Oh my God. Worst character in the movie.
Oh, worst character.
Cringed every time she came on.
She was magic. She added a sense of whimsy to the film.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So they were like, how are we going to make this lady look crazy? Dress her up like a gypsy, like straight from Gypsy Land.
From Babes in Toyland.
Yeah, or from like, a Small Little World, like one of the ladies riding a carpet or something.
I believe gypsy evolves from Egypt, I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I missed that day in college, but...
Yeah, it's true. They when they arrived in Europe, people thought they were from Egypt. So they were called gypsies.
Yeah, whenever he got ripped off seemingly by a gypsy, that you say you got gypped. That's where that comes from.
Well, Mr. Crown just it was like one of them carpet riders, you know what I've seen. And then to make her look crazier, put like one curl in her hair that she never takes a curl out of her hair.
Are you sure Ann Coulter didn't do the costume?
She just sits there with one curl in her hair, like, isn't she wacky? And I'm like, not really. She's just like useless. Maybe you could just call her the exposition lady.
Exposition lady.
And then I write, this movie gets weirder, because then we immediately cut to, as I named them because I didn't know they had names, just the Eager Beaver Crew. Or the Beaver Crew.
BC?
Yeah, BC. The Beaver Crew, who are riding around in a convertible T-Bird with plants sticking all out of it.
And they take way too long to explain why there are plants in this car.
Okay, they look like they're riding around with Jurassic Park in their car.
Yeah.
And we just cut to them, and again, they don't say anything about it. They're just like, hey guys, just hanging out, going to that swamp.
Taking my trees for a ride.
Yeah. Not that they're going to sell anything, just that they're just going to go.
Well, they have that booming tree sitting business.
Yeah. So we never get any sort of background. These are our main characters for this movie.
Horrible.
The Eager Beaver Crew, the BC Crew. What are they?
I don't know, because to me, I couldn't even tell if they were main characters or not. A lot of the stuff just felt so...
Because we were still in like introduction mode.
Yeah,
so I'm like, may never see these guys again.
The whole film is an introductory mode.
Oh yeah, we just introduce new stuff until it eventually ends, and then they're like, here's some plot with 10 seconds left. Again,
it's like I feel like I'm going to like a work orientation. It's an hour of shaking hands.
Working at this one. So one of these guys says it's my dad's car, and then that's really never expanded as like apparently his dad's out of town and he got his car, but he's like, we need to take good care of it, but I don't think he'll mind if I put the whole fucking front yard in it.
He won't notice dirt and leaves.
Yeah, Green Thumb had a sale.
And then, you know how we really cement that these are our main characters?
Huh.
Let's catcall a woman. Where Fat Beaver gets up and... I didn't know this guy was supposed to be Mexican, which is very disturbing to me because he's
weird
clearly a white man.
There's some things that don't add up, but until later, but we'll get to them.
Yeah, he just says something to her like, why did you get in my bush?
Oh, isn't it like, hey, have you ever been with a fat guy? And the weird thing is that Buddha, the character's name is Buddha, he's really not that fat.
Not at all.
Not even like, especially because you have a character in the movie who is like morbidly obese.
Oh yeah, Andy from Lunch Wagon is very obese.
Yeah.
Like the man, like the only thing he could wear is overalls. Like,
yeah.
that's it, because they don't make pants that big.
Yeah.
And Buddha just looks like those pictures of like Ben Affleck with dad bod. Like he's got a little paunch, but that is literally.
But in the 70s, they're like, obese.
Yeah,
This
look at
man
that guy.
Look at that. Look at it. You think
Look
he's
at that
going
monster. Point to the left.
He walks in a crowd's office for the audition. He's just grabbing his belly. Look at this kid.
Hey, you see this?
I can get 2 fingers worth.
Puke in this bucket.
Look at Not funny on the fat guy.
I think this Mr. Crown sometimes seems like Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, no, I hear it a little bit. Yeah,
I think they're good friends. Yeah. So we go to the swap meet. Mr. Swap Meet with binoculars from the office. He's just looking around, and that's when he catches Rhea Perlman sticking wicker baskets down her shirt, like as an impromptu bra or something.
Yeah, and they didn't introduce this guy as the owner. You just see
Oh, yeah,
him
you're
with
right.
binoculars,
Yeah.
like staring at people. I just thought he was like a weird peeper.
Oh,
because
a
they
peeping
also
Tom.
didn't like establish where he was. I guess if you paid attention, like it is clear that that's where Annie wakes up.
Yeah.
but it just looked weird. I was like, who's this guy just creeping on everyone with binoculars?
It's Mr. Swap Meet.
Yeah.
Mr.
Who's wearing a sweater like in hot Southern California weather?
Well,
that
he's-
guy.
He's hiding something.
Yeah.
So Annie in the bathroom, apparently, so she's homeless, and she does her laundry in the bathroom in a sink. Oh, I'm sorry, we haven't even gotten to that part yet.
Oh, wait.
At this point, she's just trying on a bridal veil,
Oh, yeah.
and blonde Van Girl comes in, and she's like, "Hey, Annie, how's the hooking?" And she's like, "It's going good." She's like, "Oh, are you getting married or something?" She goes, "No, just gotta be prepared, just in case you see Mr. Right." So apparently, in all her worldly possessions, she keeps a bridal veil at all times.
You never know when someone's going to meet that price.
She has a very sad existence.
She does, but she's so positive. Like she is the nicest, most positive person in the movie.
She's the happy homeless
Happy,
hooker.
happy.
The
Because
original
she's
Triple
she's
H.
got nothing to lose. You know, when
Yeah.
you're like that, you're carefree.
Nothing to lose, yeah.
It's pre-AIDS. Like it's
Yeah.
perfect.
I was just going to say,
It's
yeah.
just the burning goes away in 72
Yeah,
hours.
just working at the swap meet, you know? So then the eager beavers come in and they drive around. And as I write, seizure-inducing cuts between
Oh,
sites
God.
of the swap meet, where apparently they I don't know why they did this, but they would like cut, and then in between a cut, they would have black. Like a black screen. So it would be like cut black screen, cut black screen, cut black, and you're just like, stop it. I'm going to have a fucking seizure. Like, do you think that was intentional? They're just like, wake them up. It's time for the movie to start. And I write, we are 8 minutes in and we are still playing the theme song. Like it has not stopped. And I was just like, hold on a second. Now I have been enjoying the song, but at what point did it loop? Multiple times and I have not noticed.
Yeah, there's a very crafty fade, I think they did, and it just kind of fades back in. It's maybe that's where those epileptic cuts come from.
Yeah, they're like,
It makes you forget. Yeah.
can you do an 8-minute version of the Swap Meet song? Just repeat it for a while. Nobody's going to notice. It's like Slow Ride. You know, you could just do the beginning forever and nobody know. So then we go to the Van Girls. This is where we learned their scheme to pay for college by selling turtles. Because they're fucking idiots. And I write, do you think there's going to be a cannibal holocaust scene in this movie?
Listen, a giant porcelain turtle gets speared.
Yeah, maybe because, you know, we see that kid later. I was thinking at some point, I'm like, oh, there might be. There might be. So some creep guy named Roy in a trench coat drives up.
Oh man, this guy looks like an East German assassin in any movie that has an East German assassin.
Yes. This guy wears black gloves. He wears a trench coat, all black, including a black turtleneck. And he walks up, he drives a Ferrari to the swap meet. And he walks up to their table and he's like, how about I buy all these turtles? And they, like the idiots they are, go, no.
They don't want Roy's money.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want your rich man money.
Oh my God. They must not want to go to college.
I know. It's just like, wait, hold on. You said you really needed this to pay for college.
Yeah.
At least take the money and then tell them to fuck off.
Exactly.
Like, come on, fair trade here.
Yeah.
But no, they're like, we don't even want your money. We're good, moral, upstanding people. We're just trying to sell turtles. Where we got the turtles, I don't know. I've never heard of a turtle breeder, but maybe. Mm-hmm. Seems like a real slow process, you know?
Oh, and if you think you're going to get some backstory as to why the Van girls don't like Roy, you are wrong, because you will never get any backstory on these characters.
Nope. Could you imagine, like, it would have been great if at some point because inevitably these girls are going to start dating the beavers. If they're like, you guys want to go out tonight? Like, no, we got to watch these turtles fuck. Got to make sure that they breed properly.
Make sure these mating pairs are working out.
You want to come over and join us? We have a good time usually. Just light up a joint and pour a bottle of wine and open a jug of wine and
Watch
just
some turtles fuck.
Ironically, it looks like it's going faster when we do that.
You think they play them the Swamp Meat song?
That's how you get the turtles going.
Oh God,
It's like Prince to them.
we can only hope there's no like artificial.
No.
You know, like you gotta have
yeah.
a bull. You know what I mean. Somebody's got to jack off that bull.
Look at those tweezers.
Little pinky to pinky.
Oh, my hands are so tired. I'll tell you. Why? What's wrong? Well, it's a long story. No, what? No, seriously. Well, you know my turtle business. I don't even know if turtles do it that way, or I'm sure there's eggs. Like, I don't think it's what I'm saying it is. I don't think
I
turtles
don't know. I
fuck,
feel
so.
like I've seen tortoises do it at the zoo. But it would have been, if they had gone that route, that would have been a good way to incorporate Annie, the happy homeless hooker, into their turtle business.
Yeah, they're like, can we pay you $10 to just kind of...
Well, normally I charge 10, but I guess since it's so small, I'll just charge $1.
She's got the fastest hands at the swamp.
Yeah,
That was her other appointment for the night. She's like, I gotta jack up like 20 turtles tonight, so it's gonna be like one on each finger, you know. So Roy, he's a dick, and the eager beavers come up and be even more dicks because for some reason they stop for ice cream, and I'm like, the fuck are you gonna do that and not show us? I want to see these guys go for ice cream and have all sorts of jokes. I mean, you know, one of them was putting it on his dick and being like, oh, look at me.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
What us guys go out, Rose?
I get some soft serve on a cone with two of my buddies, and my dad's T-Bird with my trees in the back seat.
Oh, my
You
God.
don't think there was any point when Fat Beaver got out of that car, stuck it on his pants, and said, "Have a lick"?
The hell I raised at a Dairy Queen, Mike.
And they're like, "Why you got a hole in the bottom of your cone?"
Can you imagine, like, they...
Marshmallow sauce.
She's like, "Have a lick, please. It's really cold. It's really cold."
Well, then he goes... he accidentally has a server pour that hot chocolate shell onto it. Can you imagine getting rolled in the gurney in the ambulance with that cone sticking out?
It's just like they're like, not again.
What a kid! Like, yeah, and then they prescribe him a tub of ice cream to put over it.
Yeah. So the beaver crew just pulls up and they're like, "Hey, dickhead with the Ferrari," and then they start rubbing their ice cream all over his windshield, and Roy's just standing there like, "Fuck, I guess I'm gonna take this."
I know.
And then he just goes away. That's it. And then Jock Beaver goes over to Blonde Beaver. And so Jock Beaver is played by Grindbin All-Star John Greers.
Yeah.
So this is his first starring movie. Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite stars in this movie.
Wow. Breakout role.
Yeah, real breakout role. He leaves... Okay, so he goes to talk to the blonde van girl. And she's like, "I don't want anything to do with you either. I just..." At this point, you're thinking, like, maybe they just don't like... Maybe they like each other. I don't know. Maybe they just don't like men.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "Hey, fuck off." And then he's like, "All right, sorry." And he walks away, and her friend's like, "Well, he was cute. What was wrong?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's Mr. High School Star. You can have him." And then straight. This movie is insistent that, like, we know these people.
Yeah.
We don't know these people.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to have some exposition.
We
like,
didn't-
just at least tell me something.
It was like they assume we got an opening crawl. during the theme song. You know?
Well,
a long
cut,
time ago in a valley far, far
yeah,
away.
they cut out the Ziggy prologue, you know, where he explains the backgrounds of all the people. Like, nope, too long. So then we go to the Truck Boys, and guys, Grindbin All-Star returns. We haven't
Hey.
seen him in forever. Mr. Boom is
I
back
know. I
with
missed
a
Mr.
fucking
Boom.
vengeance in this movie.
yeah.
He appears in some of the most key scenes.
He's getting a lot of tight fives.
He really is. And I got to tell you, he's in some of the most important parts of this movie. Like, Mr. Boom is definitely a character.
Oh, yeah. He's wearing a nice tux to the binnies.
Yeah, he's always there to hear what's important.
That's true.
Because the Truck Boys are just hanging out, and Roy comes up to them, and he's like, hey, you guys look like dirty scumbags. Can I pay you each $100 to go fuck up those Eager Beaver's car? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Well, doesn't he say they work for his dad?
Yeah, so it's like lightly suggested
Yeah.
that he is the son of a drug lord.
Yeah, or just a general scumbag. I don't know. That's all you get is the one line about you guys work for my dad, so therefore I get to pay you to do a job.
Probably not the guy you want to fuck with.
No.
Like, just saying. But, you know, those beavers. So Ziggy goes into the woman's bathroom to visit Annie, and he's like, Annie, I know I let you stay at the office, but
Yeah.
you can't do your fucking laundry in the sink and then hang it up in the room.
And yeah, like, oh my God.
So she lives there. Mr. Swap Meet does not know, but Ziggy's like, I'm going to get in real trouble for letting you sleep in the office and everything.
And this is where we learn that Ziggy isn't willing to admit he knows what Annie does for a living. So he continually asks her, like, where do you get all your clothes? Like, what do you do at night?
Yeah.
Like, everyone else knows.
Okay.
But Ziggy just...
Yeah.
He's just in
I think
denial.
Ziggy knows. He just won't admit it to himself.
Yeah. He wants plausible deniability from when the bust happens.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, officer, I had no idea. All I know
She
is...
tells me friends give her money for clothes.
Because he goes, how come once the drive-in closes, I never see you, and then you always come back with a new outfit?
He convinces himself it's a Buffalo Exchange.
Because he goes like, how do you afford all this but not a home? And I'm just like, Ziggy. But we don't get the answer because zing zing, an old lady walks in and he goes, woo, and then gets in a stall.
And we have a Benny Hill, 3-minute scene.
There are so many women going into stalls. And by the way, some of them going into the same stall that a lady's already in. Yeah. And they just keep going into the same one.
I mean, it's like rush hour in this bathroom.
And there's also a bunch of loud fart noises, which Annie's just sitting there laughing at. I'm like, well, at least somebody's laughing. 'Cause, I mean, not me.
For as much as I like the movie, this scene was, not funny.
Well, this is the stereotypical 70s grindhouse moment of the forced.
Yeah.
You know,
But Chris,
this
how
is the-
does...
Well, this is the soft before the hard.
Yeah, well, how does he get out? This
God.
is so
Well,
funny.
well, I
This
love-
is so funny
well, he's
because
got with
Mr.
the-
Crown, this is his favorite
Oh, yeah.
thing.
He's got the janitorial supplies with him. So what are we going to do? Well, there's a mop. So I guess this is the wig. So we're going to put the top, the bra, and, dress like a woman. So it's like,
Yeah. He walks out with a mop on his head
Yeah.
and a crop top. Where did he get the top from?
well, maybe Annie has her clothesline around.
I guess so.
She hangs up her clothes in a toilet stall.
But that was one of those cocktail napkins. It was just like, man dressed as woman. Nerd dressed as woman.
Yeah.
Want it. You think Brady Smurf's coming in for the audition? He's like, you have any problem dressing up like a broad?
It's like, so take your top off.
Yeah, yeah. Put that
What?
mop on your head. Yeah. Perfect.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Turn around. Turn around. Nice.
How do you feel about getting a blowjob on camera? Are you okay with that? All right, you're hired.
I hope you go on to success as a cartoon character for children.
No one's going to see it, kid. No one. Just prisoners and perverts. So then we go Mr. Swap Meet. He's watching Rhea Perlman still shoplift, but he doesn't do anything.
No.
For days, he just doesn't do anything.
It's like he's trying to build a case. Like he's like the FBI.
Okay, how many days does this movie take place during? Now that I'm thinking about it, is it just a weekend?
I think there's a weird time jump that happens
6 months later.
yeah, I think it's literally that happened 4 weeks ago. And we're like, 4 weeks? Like, what?
Wait, whoa.
Because they have don't they have the Porsche for like a couple of weeks? Or what, jumping in the plot, but when they steal
Oh,
it.
the Ferrari?
Yeah, the Ferrari. They said they
Holy
had it for like
God.
weeks.
Well, it was. Was it like it? They needed like repairs for 4 weeks.
Oh
or
yeah,
something
the
like that?
repairs. Yeah, which I
Oh,
guess
no,
that
no.
doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah.
But,
we'll get to that.
But they don't do that. They decide to do something else.
So Annie's like, oh, I got a customer. We go to Annie. She has a customer waiting for a massage. So this part.
This is fucking weird.
So where the hell is she? Like some sort of dungeon of the drive-in or something? What the fuck is this?
My theory
Dungeon
is that
Drive-In.
it's one of the projection booths that isn't being like it's like the other projection booth.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks like a
It's all-
weird kitchen /
Kill room.
yeah, kill room / steam plants.
It's like a cross between Hostel and cheerleaders in here.
So she has a man lying face down on the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
It's a real
And-
manhandler situation.
Yes, and this
Oh,
is where
yeah.
you think, oh, she's just getting a massage. And so she's also got some pot boiling on the stove.
So she's got like her kitchen in here, plus where she gives her tugs.
yeah, and so she's like apparently, I don't know, cooking spaghetti or some shit. What you can imagine, she's got a spaghetti going, and then she's massaging this guy at the same time, and she massages him with Crisco, and he goes, "Oh, what's that? It smells like my grandma's." And he's getting turned on by this. I'm like, Then she's like, "Oh, ha ha ha! In order to finish this joke, I'm gonna put flour all over you."
Yep.
Like-
just as she's going to give
like-
him a talcum.
Like, yeah, talcum
massage.
rub, I guess.
And he'll smell like a baby. You'll feel just like a baby.
So he smells like a biscuit. It's just a bunch of Crisco and flour.
You never heard of a biscuit job?
And then she goes, "Turn over." And he gets this look like, yeah. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
she is a hooker.
This is the moment where you know she is in fact a hooker.
So it's like
Rubs and
she's,
tugs.
because like she's working like the salt shaker with one hand and the other hand is doing the other deed.
Yeah, she's stirring her spaghetti with one hand.
Like a real Italian grandma.
Yeah, she's just stretching out, And so then it ends with she goes, "You want a hot towel?" After he finishes, you know, and he goes, "Yeah, sure." Takes out, so that wasn't spaghetti. It was spaghetti and hot towels, same pot. She takes out a hot towel with tongs,
Yeah.
drops it right on his dick,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah!" Like, and he gets up and he's like, "Ah, ow, ow!" And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, so sorry." And he's like, "No, I liked it."
New menu item at the swap meet.
Yeah, he even says like that was the best. Like, because at first it sounds like he's complaining, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And he's like, "No, that was the best I've ever had."
Yeah, at one point he goes, "No, don't apologize. Don't apologize. It makes it worse. Don't apologize. I
That's
really
right.
liked it." I'm like,
It's worse.
whoa.
Don't
Okay.
apologize.
And
That's
then we have the gag where once he starts getting dressed, oh, he's a cop,
Yep.
yeah.
And
and he
says,
has to go. What? Oh, go ahead.
He says he's gonna like go beat people up.
He's got to go bust the Kinkos and the Freaks or something like that.
The Kinkos.
Yeah, the Kinkos. The Kinkos and the commies.
So the Eager Beavers, it's night now. They're pulling into some bar. The van girls are also there, and the truck guys, because guys, it's LA, the 1970s. There's only like one bar and one car mechanic. It's LA. It's a small town, as we all know.
Yes.
Just the other day, I saw Tanner. We just saw each other at the movie theaters. You know.
I was like, oh, that's what I love about
Oh.
Los Angeles. It's that small town feeling.
Yeah.
Man, so we get a great disco dance scene that lasts
For
way
minutes.
too long. Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched characters dance. Brunette van girl, very nice tube top.
Yep.
Favorite scene in the movie.
And then Creep Beaver or Fat Beaver hits on these women. It goes bad. Is all I write.
He tries to do a Humphrey Bogart impression.
Oh boy. Instead, him and Mr. Boom go over to the bar and they down some beers. What I can see is like, so he orders a pitcher of beer and then another beer and then pours the other beer into the pitcher of beer, even though it's already full.
Yeah.
And then downs it all.
Drinks the pitcher.
in front of the truck boys. And they're like, this kid drinks a lot, like a fish or something. And then it just, I don't know.
Runtime.
He just he gets drunk. We see him repeat that several times in that multi-minute dance scene.
Yep, but then we just cut. Oh God, yeah, because he's stumbling all around, being like, "Oh, he's just a
I'm the
mess."
comic relief.
And then we go to the drive-in. Annie's on one of her quote dates, and she leaves him high and dry because she's got to get to her next one. She's like, "I'm sorry, time's up. You didn't make your move." She goes into the car with the guy who wanted the money from her bra, And I was like, yeah, it's definitely solidified at this point that she is a hooker because they just shake the car so hard they pull a dead-end drive-in. The tire just falls off and they're stuck there forever.
Like, no going home. Was this also where she goes to the wrong car and she opens the door and then she kind of laughs and says, next time try ordering the pizza, and then closes the door? And I'm like, I don't get that joke.
Yeah, no, nobody got it.
Yeah.
Not even the director or
Like,
anybody.
Is it? I feel like maybe it's an oral sex joke, like eating. Like,
I think that's a stretch.
Like she accidentally got a hot dog in her mouth instead of
or,
a dick.
you know, yeah.
Next time I ordered,
The old, you think you're getting a dick, but it's a hot dog, you know?
that happened to me all the time at Costco.
Like, so he orders the girl a hot dog. She's like, I have too much phallic in my mouth.
So
And that's why she
can't
said
even
next
look
time,
at another hot dog.
Yeah, no more tubes.
Again.
Yeah, that's why she said order the pizza. you
Yeah.
know?
She starts screaming if she goes near the cucumber aisle at Ralph's.
Take a video of the cats like, with sea cucumber freak out.
So, yeah, I would love it if they mix this movie a Dead End Drive-In into one movie. So we go to the bar, more shenanigans, a lot of dancing. And then Fat Beaver wanders outside drunk. You guys, this scene, it actually had me laughing.
Wait, is this where he pees and he like sprays and knocks over bottles?
Okay. He pisses so hard
Yeah.
that it makes a high-pitched whirling sound, and he's breaking like not just like beer bottles, but like a fucking
Like mason,
moonshine
like,
jug.
like mason jars and moonshine jugs are like exploding upon impact.
He's breaking like growlers with his piss.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine the PSI required to, like, his prostate must be like,
Well,
Jesus.
Chris, when you're backed up for that long, you know,
I have been. I
nobody ever told him about the hand. You know, he's been trying to lose his virginity for so long, and nobody told him, like, you know, there are other ways. It's a high pressure situation. It's a real Crispin, you know. He's gonna hit the ceiling tonight. So I did laugh at that though, especially the high pitched whirl. It's like, what is this? Then the truck guys, they go outside to be up to no good because they're like, we're gonna do something. Then the Beavers and the van girls come outside all drunk and ready to drive because it's LA in the 70s.
Drunk
Get in
driving.
that car, kids. Get in the car. I love it. Now, like, this is just in so many Crown movies and so many 70s comedies where underage kids, and these kids aren't underage, I think, although they said they're out of high school now. Well, they're going to college.
In
I
college.
guess, so maybe. But nothing better, kids, than going out, getting rat-ass drunk, and driving home. Mm-hmm. And
That's
joking
freedom.
about it on screen. Yeah. They're like, oh, fuck, I can't drive a lick. It's going to be fun. And they're starting it up. Like, no airbags back then. You know? Then the truck guys run into their car. So the whole plan is, we're going to sit outside this bar, the only bar in L.A., and then when they back up their T-Bird, we're just going to back into them.
right.
Yep. Nefarious plan.
Yeah.
And that's the plan.
Yeah.
And they each got $100 for that. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, oh, your car's fucked up. And then they're like, hey, fuck you. And then the guys just drive away.
Did you catch the name of the bar where they were at? The Great Gatsby Discotheque.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two things
Oh,
that definitely
yeah.
go together.
I saw that.
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby and disco.
Discotheque, yeah.
That was his favorite. You know,
I Googled
music.
it. It does not appear to still be in existence, unfortunately.
It was probably one of those mud wrestling places. Okay, and so before the Beaver crew, the BC crew drives off, Fat Beaver yells at Fat Truck Guy and says like, hey man, what's wrong with you? I'm a fat guy too. We're in the fat union and you just lost your membership card, buddy. And I'm like, just looking in shock at just what am I watching? Like who thought this was funny on set? Do you think this was killing? Just they've stopped the cameras and everybody's just
No, this is another.
It was
a union.
Yeah, it's another cocktail napkin idea that just kind of got thrown in at the last second.
had to be, right?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden the director's like, I have this cocktail napkin. It's the last night we're shooting, guys. It says Fat Union. I don't know what it means, but can you somehow work that into the scene?
I think it might be onion, sir.
Fat onion. So we go to the car. Uh-oh! We learned that this car is Jack Beaver's dad's car, and he's in a bunch of trouble. And I just write, plot! Look out! Duck! 30 minutes in, first act has ended. Plot! How are we going to fix our car? That's the whole...
This is the call to action.
Yeah, the whole
Call
thing
to action.
is fucking how do we fix my dad's goddamn scratch on his car? Okay, so we take it to DeVito, who's apparently the only car mechanic in LA. He's covered... So either he just jumped into a mud wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Or... Because I don't know... There's nothing on cars that would make you this shade of dirt.
Yeah.
It looks like he was like in a Grey Poupon eating contest all over his body.
Yeah, it's like he dove in mustard, like a Scrooge McDuck into mustard or something.
I think it was after craft services is what happened.
Just like before they rolled, DeVito had some accident and he fell into the tray of mustard. Fuck! They're like, you know what, DeVito? Use it. Oh, I love it. Also, can I do a voice like a Mighty Mouse? Because DeVito, and I think, by the way, by the end of the movie, he loses the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, he kind of gives up on it.
because I knew he was in this movie, but I didn't know if that was him or not because of the voice.
Yeah, it's a weird voice.
He's doing his fucking Andy Kaufman from Taxi. Like, what? He's like, that's what I always wanted to do is that voice guy. You know, Andy took it from me. That was my character in Taxi, is I was going to be some weird foreign guy, and then he stole it. So this movie, I'm bringing it back. But I don't know how to do the voice.
Yeah.
So it's just, hey, you want your car fixed? It's going to take 4 weeks, and I got to do this. I'm like, 4 weeks?
I do like his monologue about all the wonderful things he's going to do. Like he's going to get an artisan car painter from Italy to fly over and delicately blow, just gently blow onto the paint to dry it. That monologue I think is very funny.
And that dialogue was not in the script. That was
No,
a
no.
DeVito
him
type
riffing.
15.
DeVito is chewing this
Yeah.
scenery
Yeah.
like it's a fucking pack of Wrigley's.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He's going for it in
Yeah.
this movie. By the way, the timeline he says is 6 months. And John Greer's goes, so Jock Beaver's like, dude, I need it by Friday. And he's like, oh, okay, $250.
That's how you get him.
Yeah, that's how you get them. And so they have a brilliant plan selling stuff at the swap meet. And I go, of course they do, because it's the only location they got. So, you know, what else are they going to do?
Yeah.
Not get jobs.
Yeah,
like,
no,
clearly.
fuck that. Friday, Tanner. We got to do something. Find anything in the house you can sell. Not that Dad will be pissed about that. So we go to the swap meet. The eager beavers get into the swap meet, and Ziggy's like driving a hard bargain for that $5. They just blow him off. They're like, "Fuck you, we'll pay you later," and just drive in. Then the van girls talk to the fortune teller, and I just write, "It doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter." And then Annie is found naked in a car with a guy she had sex with because apparently they fell asleep inside of each other and woke up and like, "Fuck, the movie's over. Oh my god."
Yeah, we see man butt for a while. Like clearly the guy was like, no, I'm not turning around. You're just filming my butt.
Yeah, he's like, no faces,
No.
none. This is like I said, it's a real dead end drive-in.
Yeah.
Like they had to stay. And then so I write, okay, so the lady that steals up, Rhea Perlman. This is when I just realized it was her.
Yeah.
And I write, good lord.
Yeah.
This is the like I saw she was in this movie. I'm like, this is the role, huh?
The kleptomaniac mother
And we only know that because she's now shopping with her kid.
who's wearing a badass Star Wars t-shirt. Did you see that?
Yes.
Darth Vader lives. Like,
Yeah, that was
vintage.
Somebody wrote on the trivia of this movie, or no, I'm sorry, connections for Swap Meet on IMDb. They wrote Star
Oh,
Wars.
please.
And I clicked on it and it goes, kid wearing Star Wars shirt. I'm like, are you really are you serious? Some idiot watched this online and they're like, I gotta put down that Star Wars reference because it has to be known every time Darth Vader is ever shown on screen. It has to be chronological. Like, it has to be.
God damn it.
So yeah, she's shopping for turtles with this unruly kid.
Yeah. I do like this scene where this shitty kid wants to buy a turtle so he can flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, and not only so he can flush it down the toilet, so he can name it Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
Because he hates Reggie Jackson and he wants to flush it down the toilet. Then he says, I'll also buy a turtle and name it like all sorts of other
Sports
black
references.
sport
I don't
athletes,
Oh my
which I was
God,
like,
yeah.
guy. This is coming off real racist because he's like, yeah, flush Reggie Jackson, and then I'll flush O.J. Simpson too.
Tom Seaver.
Oh well, there. Maybe that's a white guy. I don't know. If that's not a white guy, then I don't know what a white name is. You know,
I will look it up in the meantime.
Tom Seaver.
Tom Seaver.
And the Van girls, they don't want to sell their turtles to be murdered by this sick little child.
Again, though, I mean, they can always make more, Tanner.
I mean, more like, come on. They are turtles. They don't have feelings.
They could turn a blind eye and be like, well, we do need to go to college. Again.
And really, in the long run, what is more important? College or the lives of a few turtles named after black athletes?
Well, Tom Seaver, pitcher for the Mets, white guy.
Okay.
White guy.
There we go. So he's got a big problem against New York baseball teams, I guess. They've had 2 customers in the course of the entire movie, and they both tell him, hey, fuck off. We don't want your dirty money. Get out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
You're never going to finish college.
Yeah.
I guess they haven't gotten to economics yet. That's next semester or something.
Well, they took the community college economics class, and that's where they're getting that knowledge from.
Yeah. When they said college, they meant DeVry.
That's why they thought selling turtles was a viable.
One of those Maury
way to
Povich
earn
colleges
money.
you see on TV between commercials. DeVry and ITT Tech.
So Jock Beaver comes over and talks to the blonde van girl. They get caught by Mr. Swamp Meat and have to pay for their spot. A, quote, comical scene of them finding change is what I write. And then Fat Beaver just empties his shoe and goes like, can you break change for a 10? Woo! Then the truck guys ruin a turtle stand for literally no reason.
Yeah.
And the girls are like, why would you do that? Why would they do that? And I'm like, well, I don't know why they would take it out on you. To be honest, that wasn't part of the deal. I don't know. Nice
Turtle stand you got here. Shame if something would have happened to it.
Yeah. Like if somebody were to buy one. They should have also been like, we want to buy a turtle. And they're like, well, what are you going to use it for? And you go, that's none of your fucking... Would you stop asking all your customers what they're going to do with the turtle? It's none of your business.
My God.
Maybe at a pet store, maybe if you go to a dog breeder, they're like, all right, so, how are you going to care for the dog and everything? But if you go to a toy store and you're like, I'd like to buy that hamster, please. And they're like, you're not going to, stick it up your ass, right?
I'm willing to bet they do ask that.
And you're like, what do you take me for?
Yeah. Richard Gere?
Come on. No, I mean, maybe, but...
that's between me and the hamster.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was going to name it after a black athlete. And I was going to flush it down the toilet. But, I don't know why that's important for you, Mr. Petco.
I'm going to take my business elsewhere.
Yeah. I'll go down the street to Pet Mart. But they don't ask those type of questions. This would have been really good if the Beavers were like, okay, our plan to sell stuff is to just take those turtles and sell them for our own. If they go, hold on, can we buy all your turtles? And they're like, okay, what are you going to use them for? And they go, no, we like turtles. And then they just take them over to their stand and they go like, all right, more money per turtle. That's their whole plan to make money.
We don't care what you use these turtles for.
Yeah, you can fuck them, you can flush them, we don't care. That's the sign. Fuck them, flush them.
We don't care.
We don't care.
Sounds like a Fear song.
Name them
Fuck them, flush them. We don't care.
Name them after any athlete you want. These turtles stand.
They say.
So that. All right, Annie walks by the Beavers and they catcall her in front of the girls they like. And I'm like, what better way to prove that these are our protagonists than having the homeless hooker walk by and them going, ow, wah, 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 wah. Yep, because that's what happens. Mm-hmm. They're like, woo, shake it, shake it. And the girls are interested and are like, I mean, really?
Yeah.
But they just let it,
It is kind of weird how the way everyone else reacts to Annie, as if she is like a pet almost. There's this weird
Tex
kind
Avery
of
cartoon.
Yeah, she's so hot, but also everyone likes her. like, oh, she's so sweet. She's so I feel like even in the 70s, like some of the people would be like, that's a hooker, right? Like,
Yeah, she is like a cesspool of disease.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Jesus Christ.
I don't want her near my kids.
Patient zero for
Oh, yeah.
AIDS, potentially.
She fucked a monkey.
She might have.
I would lick the inside of a dumpster before I kissed her. Put it that way.
Chris, you want your massage? You just got to lick this dumpster first. So you can be as dirty as me.
boy.
Yeah, everybody knows she's a hooker except for Ziggy. Yeah, because they're all like, oh, she's the hooker.
Yeah.
But come back later, So she goes into Ziggy's booth and she shaves her legs while he watches because she's like, I need to shave my legs with this electric razor. And his head's like right near the razor. I'm like, come on, you don't even have the gag where like she goes too far and shaves his head?
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. I'm like, you just set up the joke. Like, you can't just walk into it and not have the punchline. I mean, was just Brainy Smurf like, no, I'm not.
Not shaving my head for this movie.
No. Come on, kid. $50. No? Fuck.
He already got both ends of the 50.
Yeah, he never got the other end.
Yeah.
So then we cut to guys lighting up by a van, and I write, is Kim Bentley at this swap meet?
gonna say.
Or what the fuck is going on?
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
So
Sally Johnson.
no, apparently their plan now to make money is fuck it. Okay, because by the way, the Beavers showed up with lamp shades, not lamps, just lamp shades and like sticks that they found at the front yard. And they're like, we're going to sell this for money and pay for our T-Bird.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's not going to work. And so apparently off screen, they said, well, here's an idea. Annie makes so much money being a hooker. You girls, you college girls, should pretend to be hookers in the back of our van. But what we'll do is when the guys go in, we muscle them with bats.
Yep.
And they think they're going to get the three's okay with me.
Yeah.
But we're just going to be like, no, there's no sex. Tell us what you want in terms of what you want in your life. And if you touch one of the girls, we'll fucking bash your head in. And also, if you tell anybody you don't like what's going on in this van, we'll bash your head in.
It's a really good scam. It's fucking great.
Our main characters, everybody, muscling people out of $10.
But it's a version of the Easy A scam where they're going to let everyone think that they had sex with these girls, and it's in the guy's best interest to go along with it so they don't ruin the scam. But man, the baseball bats, that just took it to a different level.
Because Chuck Beaver's just hitting it in his hand, and then he's like, I made all state last year. Varsity. Varsity my freshman year.
Well, the other guy should have had like weed whackers in his other hand, just like.
Maybe you get a turtle at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. Give him a door prize. Get the turtle. But so we know this because a nerd is brought into the van, and he's like, well, when do I get the sex? And he's pawing at the women, and they're like, no. And that's when he says the plan, and then he's like, oh shit. Well, I'm gonna tell everybody. And he's like, wait, I want him to think that I also got laid. Except for every person that went in the van knows the other guy didn't get laid. Do you think? Or they're like, maybe he did get. I don't know.
Maybe he didn't have enough money.
There's enough of a seed of doubt that the scam should just go on.
Maybe they just weren't into me.
Yeah.
But it's ruined because Mr. Swap Meet, Mr. Swap Meet comes over to Ziggy and Annie, and he's like, somebody's turned the Swap Meet into a whorehouse. And Annie goes, how'd you find out? Yeah, how'd you find out?
Yeah.
And he's like, because they have a sign at their van that says $10 for a fuck or something.
Yeah.
And they all run over to the van. They jump out of the van and like, no. They aren't hookers. They sell turtles. No, it's all a misunderstanding. See the bats and the guys come in and we're just stealing money
What you
from
do is
people.
you get to hit the turtle with the bat.
Yeah, like, I give them a soft toss and they hit the turtle.
Soft toss.
It's like, no. There's no hand jobs. It's just, we're just robbing people.
We're all in on it.
It's
We're all
fine.
having a good time.
Like nobody's complained. And he's like, get the fuck out of the swamp meet. And they're like, okay, well, we'll be back tomorrow with a new business. But all right, I get it. So then they just drive off. And all of a sudden we just cut to a car chase. Just
Oh, yeah.
randomly,
Yeah.
we're in, like, they forgot to film the start of it. And they're like, wait, what happened to fucking 5 minutes of this movie?
Well, that canister got lost during the chase. It fell off the back of the van.
Instead of all cap, it's like,
It's a film reel just like rolling down the side of the mountain.
Mr. No! Damn it!
6 hours.
Fuck! Yeah, that was the 3-hour cut to swap meet. Gone. So no, we got cut to, all of a sudden the truck guys are chasing and fooling around with the beavers and the van girls. And like, so the van girls are in their van, which by the way is filled with turtles. Just never explained how creepy that must be. If
Or
they
what it
ever-
would smell like in
Yeah.
there.
Oh God. Like a fucking terrarium in that thing. Like, have you ever been to like a lizard place and it's just the God.
Yeah.
God, the
Yeah.
worst fucking smell of your life. Like, there's a place in Anaheim that's like a reptile museum, which is in a strip mall, and it has like, I'm not even kidding, Chris, like a 10-foot tall ceiling, and it's filled to the brim with fucking lizards and a Komodo dragon. Is the worst smell of your life. Don't ever go in there. Don't do it. That's the $10 scam, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay to go in to see the smelly reptile?
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
$10, and you come out going like, I think I got laid, guys. No, I'm good.
I think I impregnated a turtle.
Got a lizard job.
So all of a sudden, the fat beaver and one of the truck guys just start throwing junk at each other, working at the swap meet, and then they crash their car.
Surprise.
Yeah, the crazy thing about the chase is, okay, we're supposed to believe that a scratch on the T-Bird is enough to cause them to freak out and like sell their belongings. But yet they engage in a chase and like fuck up that car even
and
more.
they're ramming each other.
Yeah, all they need to do, stop.
Yeah, just brake, man.
Just Bryce, hit the brakes. The truck will continue driving.
Yeah.
Also, why are the truck guys so upset? You've won.
Yeah, that's a missing link I
You
never
won.
understood.
The car's already fucked up. You won. Why are you still going? But they're like, no, not until they're all dead and buried in the ground. That's what the $100 to kill them or to just scratch the car. I forget. But we
Better
should
just kill them to make sure.
Yeah, we better just do it in case.
Tie up loose ends.
Nobody's gonna miss these guys. If anything, we'll be doing them a favor.
Right.
So instead, the car crashes, and you get the old muffler on the head joke, or carburetor on the head, because that's what we all want.
The old carburetor on the head gag. Made famous in the Keystone Cops. Brought back by Abbott and Costello.
Yeah. I mean,
perfected in swap meet.
Yeah. Surprised there was no, spark plug on the dick. Fat Beaver should have been so horny at one point. He's like, might as well try fucking this car. You're getting at the swap meet.
And it starts rolling down the hill with him behind it.
Because his dick is stuck.
Yeah.
It's just, "Ah!"
It's like a
They said I needed more exercise.
It's like a Stretch Armstrong thing going on down there.
So then we got to the bar. They're all dejected, and Fat Beaver says, guys, I got it. Do you know how we can fix the T-Bird? We should steal that Nazi's Ferrari. And they're like, okay, yeah. That sounds like a great idea because nobody likes him. And I'm like, no, that's not. No, stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
Characters. No, that's
Yeah.
not a solution to the movie. But they go off anyways against,
Again, yeah.
Well, at least these people are flawed.
Yeah.
Deeply flawed characters.
And they have a plan.
Yeah, they're like, they say at one point, yeah, he deserves it. And I go, no, I mean, you put the ice cream on his windshield. You wouldn't sell him the turtles. He said, and by the way, how do they even know that he paid those truck guys? Because they don't.
No.
He said, hey, those guys fucked with me, and I'm pissed about it. Can you scratch their car? Somehow this all is a big misunderstanding where now a car's crashed and they say, we know it was that Nazi guy, so we should steal his Ferrari and hold it for ransom so that he'll fix our T-Bird and give it back to us.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah. It is a way too complicated escalation of the situation.
Yeah, because I'm just like, no, you were fine with the first, the end of the first act. Like, you could have just, maybe we'll find another way to pay for it, Turtle hand jobs, something.
The old turtle hand job.
We call that the old turtle wax off.
So then for no reason, we go to the fortune teller's house. And they're like, hey, do you know where the Ferrari is? And I was like, well, maybe check his house. But instead, she says, also, by the way, there's a parrot that says get into her pants over and over because somebody says that. And I write, I don't think parrots say things the first time they hear it.
She is magic, and so is her parrot.
I think he's heard that phrase plenty of times. Get in her pants, get in her pants.
Uh-huh.
That's what every customer hears when they come over. Get in her pants, get in her pants. Oh, you heard the parrot. So she tells them the Ferrari's at the auto shop. Just the one, the only one in LA, the one that DeVito runs. And then she goes, Jock Beaver says, like, man, I got to tell you, I always thought you were full of shit. Because you are full of shit. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
You're full of shit. But now I think I believe you. And she goes, well, don't, because I actually just saw it because I brought my own car to the one auto mechanic in the entire LA County. And the Ferrari was there. And I also know where he leaves the keys. Yeah. And they're like, okay. And then Fat Beaver hits on her before they leave. And she's still not interested. Yeah. Get in her pants. Get in her pants. So then, that would have been better if maybe the parrot was sitting on Fat Beaver's shoulder the whole movie.
That would have been amazing.
Giving him advice.
Or just from this scene on, he just has the parrot.
Yeah. And it gives him advice. Get in her pants, get in her pants. Well, the parrot said it.
Oh, this is the weird part, because when Fat Beaver talks to I think her name is Davina, the fortune teller, like he calls her like Boobala. I was like, wait, is he supposed to be Jewish? Like, because that's why he's so jokey. He's like the funny Jewy guy.
I think he was supposed to be.
Like, but then we'll get to like the thing there. I'm like,
I mean, let's be clear. He might be in real life.
Oh yeah, and and I guess they did establish that he does like bad impressions. So maybe he's just trying to be funny with the Boobala thing. But I was like,
I don't know.
Oh, is he supposed to be like the Jewish one? And then they monkey wrench that later.
Yeah.
So we go to the auto shop, and they just steal the car. Yeah. And DeVito sleeps in a chair like a monster man. He's a monster man that fixes cars and sleeps sitting upright in a chair.
He has to be activated by lightning.
And they drive off with the Ferrari, and for some reason Fat Beaver sets off the alarm.
Because he forgot to leave the ransom note, and so he runs back in.
It's
But
like,
I don't know
guys,
how
leave
that trips the alarm, but them like... I don't get the connection.
Maybe
but
he opened a door he shouldn't have, tripped something.
So maybe a better idea, sell the Ferrari. Bring it to a chop shop and be like, you'll give me at least $250 for this, right? Well, now obviously, okay, by the way, they're fucked because there's no way the T-Bird's getting fixed by Friday at this point. Also, we don't know the passage of time. This could be one day for all I know. Like, I don't know. But I don't understand the plan at this point because the movie's trying to explain it to me, but I'm like, wait, so their plan is
so obviously a bad plan.
They want to steal a Ferrari and hold it ransom so that guy will go fix their own car, and then they'll have, quote, the biggest swap of all time at the swap meet where they trade cars back.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, have they established that there's the identical car that's for sale up in Sacramento?
What?
Oh, yeah. So at one point it was to fix the original car.
Okay.
And then Uncle Rico is like, I think it's in the second bar scene when they're dejected, where he's like, there's an identical car for sale up in Sacramento that's $6,000. And so the plan is to get, like, it gets really confusing because at one point they talk that Roy, the East German assassin, is supposed to buy that car up in Sacramento, and that's what vehicle is going to be swapped. But they're not consistent with it. So I think it was something they thought would make more sense.
This is what you're explaining to me is one of the most confusing plots to a movie.
It
doesn't even make sense because he goes, it's identical. Yeah. Your dad'll never know except for the mileage. And also
the VIN and everything
the
else.
License plate, the registration.
The registration's completely different name when it gets pulled
Maybe
over.
The 70s were different, in terms
When
of
you
car
get
registration and identification.
But it's just like the fucking stupidest plan.
Yeah.
Are they gonna Ferris Bueller this? Like, you're driving in reverse, Just scratch the VIN off. Switch the plates. So then I just write, where the hell are we? Because, oh my God, does this movie reach a new level of bizarre? So we all know in White Lightning, they go to the camp for pregnant women. Well, apparently in this world, Fat Beaver lives on an orphan farm. He lives on a farm with orphans.
Right.
Because they pull up to, like, we're on the set of Dukes of Hazzard now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they pull up to this fucking backwoods house, and these children run out, and one of the van girls goes, what the hell, what are all these kids? And Fat Beaver, puts two around his arms, and he goes, these kids will put their life on the line for you. Trust me. And I'm just like, I don't like where this is going. Like, I really don't understand why we're at an orphan farm and why you just said this kid will die for you.
Yeah. It really took a turn here.
What is going on?
Maybe that's why his name is Buddha, is he's actually like a cult leader and all these children are his followers.
He says, the exact quote is, they'll protect us with their lives, ... you'll see. Not like, trust me, you'll see. As if it will happen. At some point, this kid's dead.
I will command him to kill himself. That's the power I have.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so and they call him Uncle, like whatever. I don't think they call him Uncle Buddha, but I think they call him by his real name.
Uncle Beaver.
But they call him Uncle Fat Beaver. So I'm like, okay, and so I take it that these are like his relatives who live in Inland Empire, or like just
I don't
Empire.
know.
somewhere out of the way on a farm, because there are chickens and goats. As we learned.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get back to that, because oh my God, we cut to Annie. She's making pancakes and sharing a tender moment with Ziggy and Mr. Boom Mike. She's courting them both. And
in the same room where she gives hand jobs and massages.
And there's a part when Ziggy walks in and goes, "Where'd you get that dog?"
Oh, yeah.
That dog will never make another appearance in this movie.
You think he just wandered on set?
And I'm like,
think
don't
so.
tell me that was a customer, Annie. Please.
Yeah.
Like, this has gone too far.
Have you ever read the book The Happy Hooker?
No.
There's a part where she does jerk off a dog. So
Oh my God.
I picked up the book and just randomly opened it to a page and came to that. I was like, whoa, this book is not what I expected.
When you say came to that,
Zing, zing. I feel like somebody was in the corner like, no, I'll watch. So he's like, where'd you get this dog? And she's like, don't worry about it. And don't, because we'll never see it again. It's a real Buckaroo Banzai watermelon. I mean, this thing's just gone. And she's like, you know, Ziggy, I think I'd make a great wife. And he's like, oh yeah? And she's like, yeah. And you know, this dog's name is Ziggy, by the way. And he goes, that's my name. And she goes, that's what I call him too, or something?
Yeah, it's a funny joke. She's like, oh, that's why I call you Ziggy, is because that's your name.
huh?
Ziggy apparently can't figure out that she's a homeless hooker.
Also, this is a scene where it becomes apparent that the actress playing Annie is not American, because her Australian accent comes out the entire scene.
Yeah, she's like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
about some pancakes, mate?
Yeah.
Right?
He starts doing like almost like Australian Daisy Ridley.
Yeah. Okay, pancakes, right?
What?
And he goes, okay. And she's burned the shit out of him, and she's like, just so you know, if you marry me, Ziggy, because I want to marry you, I'll make you burn pancakes every day, or something like that. And he's like, okay. Then we go to DeVito's, just chewing up the scenery is what I write, because Roy shows up, so the East German assassin, not the Nazi, come on.
This is the 70s.
Yeah, come on.
Not 2018 America.
So he shows up asking where his car is, and DeVito's like, oh yeah, I lost it.
I love that. I love it. Just like, oh yeah, about that.
Yeah. And he's like, DeVito. And right again, nobody has a choice of what auto mechanic to use, apparently. And he's like, hey, I lost the car, but guess what? I'll get it fixed real nice when I find it. And then he's like, well, I gotta go find my car. And he goes, oh, wait, I got a ransom note. Then he reads it out loud. Here it is. Dear shithead. Where DeVito goes, I should have left that part out. Which I love. You know, that was a little DeVito line.
Yeah.
I know you destroyed my T-Bird, and that's only half of what I'm going to do to your Ferrari unless you replace my T-Bird. And I write, okay, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Just go to the cops with that note. Because it says, I know you destroyed my T-Bird. And you could be like, I have no idea what they're talking about. These guys stole my Ferrari. I would like you to get it back for me.
Yeah.
Then I write as my notes, this movie with question marks. Because what we cut to is they're taking a picture in front of the car.
Yeah.
And Jock Beaver... Okay, at this point, Van Girl is holding a camera and Jock Beaver's doing like a muscle pose in front of the car. And I'm like, you know what? Just make more evidence, right?
That was my thing. Why are you incriminating yourself more and more?
He doesn't need a proof of life for this Ferrari.
No.
Yeah.
But then he's like, wait, hold on. The chickens. And he just screams the chickens. Cut to shots of Fat Beaver chasing a chicken with a net. Like a fucking loony bin net, you know?
Yeah.
Then they get the chickens and then he's like, wait, the goat. And then the nameless beaver walks over with a goat. Then he's like, wait, the dog. Then they come over with the dog. Then he goes, wait, fuck me being in this picture. Get those kids. You said they'd die for us. And then we cut to a shot of them taking a picture of all these barnyard animals and orphans doing muscle poses, like a He-Man pose, on top of the Ferrari, and they take a ransom note picture.
Yeah.
It's a funny scene.
I guess you had to be there, everybody.
And I write, there you go, blame it on the kids. So then we go to Roy and the truck guys. So what is the passage of time here? Because basically Roy shows up and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, we know where your car is because the, quote, Mexicans told me to give this to you.
Yeah.
And I just write, what?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the ransom Polaroid of the car. And I go, take that to the police with the ransom note.
Solve this whole problem.
They don't have something like somebody you care about to hold against you. This ransom is not a ransom. They've robbed you.
Yeah.
And they have nothing of value other than your car. Like nothing of sentimental value that can't be replaced. Go to the police.
This is like someone trying to leave a promissory note. You know? It's like trying to buy a car with a promissory note.
It would be like if somebody stole your car
Yeah.
and then they sent a picture and they said, I have your car at this location, but I want you to get me a new car before I give you your car back. And then you go, oh, okay, yeah, 911? Yes, I know where my car is. Can you go retrieve it? Oh, yes, I have all the evidence you'll ever need.
And they've also already established that there is a cop character in this movie.
Yeah. Who's anxious to beat somebody up.
Yeah, he wants to take out the Kinkos and the commies.
Or the Eager Beaver crew. He'd love it. So then we go to the orphan camp and we watch Fat Beaver play a trumpet while a kid punches him in the stomach and says, you suck.
Because he plays La Cucaracha.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Oh my God.
Yep.
Then the other Van Girl, so Tube Top Van Girl,
Tube Top.
says she wants to have
Delicious.
women's independence, right? And then the other guy like goes, oh yeah, and then tries to grab her, and she knocks him off this hay bale, and she's like, you're just like all men. You think I'm kidding? And I write, oh yeah, those women just kidding about equal rights, you know? Funniest joke. And then she said she wanted equal rights.
So we're supposed to establish that there's now a romance between Nameless Beaver
Yeah.
and
What a
Tube Top.
romance.
Yeah. With it doesn't work.
Groping, and she says, I want you to treat me like a person, and he goes, ha!
I don't even have a name.
Then some kids spy on Jock Beaver and Blonde Van Girl lying in a barn talking and kissing. And then we cut to the other girl and Beaver making out. And I go, so much for women's rights. I guess she was kidding. Huh?
They talk. There's a lot of tough talk, but in the end, they won it in the end. Am I right? Am I right? Heyo.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what she,
Hickory dickory dock.
I like to talk a big game. You know.
Enough of women's lib. I want to get laid.
I mean, wow. So we go to the truck guys. Goofy music as they drive around for a while in the dark. Then they're grabbed by some as I put, random homeless farmer guys that we've never seen before. Or Hills Have Eyes. Because what the fuck is going on? They take them to a campfire with the Beaver crew. And you think at this point somebody's dying. And they're just
without
like,
a doubt.
and they say, hey, go tell Roy to go buy us this T-Bird, and then we'll do the biggest swap in history at the swap meet next morning. And I'm like, so they have like 5 hours?
Exactly.
They really can't get that car from Sacramento in time.
Yeah. Okay. So then the Beaver crew, they're like, hey guys, you know what we should do? Because tomorrow's a big day. Let's get drunk. Let's get so drunk that we start like just bouncing into walls and stuff's going to fall on our heads. Drunk.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because every goddamn piece of farm machinery just is falling on them. If only like a big fucking rotational saw just cut some dude's head off at this point. Nameless Beaver.
Nameless
Like, just
Beaver.
get
He
him
has
out
done
of it,
nothing.
You know? And they could be like, you know what, guys?
Jesus.
Shit, we are not taking this seriously. Now,
Nameless
not,
Beaver paid the price.
not only do we have to get rid of this stolen Ferrari, we got to bury this guy.
Let's just leave him in the trunk.
And then,
Let's leave him in the car for Roy to find.
oh shit! There we go.
Yeah.
And then we could just blame it on. Oh wait,
Yeah.
hold on. The orphans got to him. They're eating him. Oh god. Oh no. They pick it to the bone. I'll tell you. They do this for every guy.
And then they turn on the bone.
The amount of like nonsensical turns in this movie, that would have been amazing. Nameless Beaver just dies.
They should have. He should have been shot at some point. Oh no, he's dead. Did anybody know his name? He's our friend.
I've known him since childhood. I
Like-
know his name.
Have you ever seen the movie? So I think it's what is it? You Got Served. Have you ever seen the movie You Got Served?
No.
Best twist in a movie of all time is there's a little kid in the beginning of the movie that's introduced, and they're like, "That's Little Saint." And you just see him for like a minute, you know, and he's like this little kid, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to be a dancer too." And then halfway through the movie, they're like, "Guys, Little Saint got shot." And it's like off screen. You're like, who's he? Oh my God, that child that just showed up for the one scene. They're like, Little Saint got shot. We got to win the contest for that dead kid. And that's the whole crux of the movie is we got to avenge this child that we met for 1 minute's death so they can beat the Orange County kids.
I like it.
It's a fantastic movie.
Real
So-
standing O as the credits rolled, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
One of Steve Harvey's finest roles. So, guys, it's the 70s. What do you do when you get drunk?
Let's see. If in this world in the 70s, you usually defile women.
No, but instead, Chris, we got to drive. There's a car. And
Well, you can do both, too.
well, at one point, they run over to the car, and Fat Beaver's like, I'm going to miss this car. And it almost goes in the tailpipe, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we're piss drunk, but we should drive it one more time.
Yeah.
And instead of just driving it, let's put the cover on the car
So it
that
doesn't get dinged up.
So that it doesn't get dinged up,
Yeah.
but we can't see. So Fat Beaver, you sit on the roof and you be our navigator. It's like Flight of the Navigator. And you be our Pee Wee Herman, right?
Which that is drunk logic. That is like
to
when
their
you're
credit-
drunk, you're like, I want to drive this car. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Just sit on the hood. Like it is pretty nonsensical, sensical drunk logic.
Yeah. So they just joyride in the dark.
Yeah. They just do like donuts.
Yeah,
Like,
with Fat Beaver sitting on the roof until he gets what should have been like a decapitation from a branch, but instead he gets hung up on it like a cartoon, like a Disney background cartoon.
real Song of the South moment.
Don't they have like a sound effect for that? Like, I swear there's like a boyoing somewhere.
Yeah, there's definitely like
Yeah.
a cartoon.
And they also crash a random guy's car, but you can't really tell what's going on because it's pitch fucking
dark.
black and somebody didn't bring the lights. So then, like, didn't they ever heard of Day for Night? Just put the fucking filter over the film. They're like, no, you got to really film at night.
Or just
No, the
not
moonlight.
care like the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it.
It's now daytime. Who cares?
So Annie and Ziggy, they're sitting in Ziggy's car. This is, she basically is like, look, Ziggy, I'm a hooker, and I'll have sex with you, but I want you to marry me because I want you to ask Mr. Swamp Meat tomorrow for a raise and to have half the swamp meat be given to you for no reason.
And this happens on a lot of MTV reality specials.
The ultimatum.
But Ziggy, to his credit, goes, yeah, that sounds great. And then her head goes down. And he's like, yeah, no, We're good. I'll definitely do that tomorrow. And she just goes down, and then the van girls pull up, and they're like, Ziggy, and he's like, he just doesn't even answer, and then they're like, Ziggy, and Annie pops her head up. He goes, no, just keep doing what you're doing. They'll go away. And then at some point they're like, Ziggy, can you please let us borrow the swap meet to make the biggest swap of all time tomorrow or something like that?
You'll be world famous.
And then he's just, I don't know what happens, but this all ends with Annie biting his dick.
Well, because they offer him, they say he's gonna make a lot of money, and he's like, "What are you doing, Another? Stop it! I need to make some money."
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
She should know all about that. Like, come on.
Why is she?
Because she says to Ziggy, she goes, look, Ziggy, let's be honest. I don't want to marry you for your looks. I want to marry you because I feel like you're a successful businessman. You're the only person I know who's got their shit together because you work at the swap meet. You aren't just one of the degenerates who show up here. So I think you got a good thing going.
Yeah.
Maybe you should ask that owner if you can have half the swap meet and become the assistant manager because you deserve it.
Yeah.
You know, you're a good guy. And he goes, yeah, you're right. And pushes the head down.
As one would.
They're gonna have a good marriage, I think.
Yeah.
Like
Beautiful
mutual
dynamics.
support. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
drive in the next morning. Ziggy won't let anybody drive in because there's going to be... this still doesn't make sense. Why is he not letting anybody in?
No.
They're
You
making
can still
room.
do the swap.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So Mr. Swap Meet walks in and he's like, Ziggy, what are you on? Strike or some shit? And he goes, okay, well, I got a plan to make us world famous. Also, I want to be paid more and I want to be a partner in the swap meet, like half and half. And because I'm marrying Annie, the homeless hooker. And Mr. Swap Meet goes, deal.
Like, no contract, no
That's
negotiations.
how good of a businessman.
Why didn't they just
Ziggy
marry
is.
him? That's why she's getting marrying him.
He goes, deal. They shake on it. And then you just see Mr. Swap Meet like on the off screen walk away and goes, wait, what? Oh, fuck.
I wasn't listening. What did I agree to?
So then my only notes are, oh boy. Because we got to Roy and the Truck Boys. And they go, you don't understand, Roy. We were, quote, attacked by 100 Mexican wetbacks, and we couldn't get the car back. Yeah. Those are their words.
Yep.
And I just write, oh, boy.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that right there. And we go back to the swap meet. And Annie tells the gypsy lady that she's getting married, but she has to kiss all her boyfriends goodbye first. And the gypsy lady's like, your lips will get tired. Because she's the real... She's the Gazoo of this movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. So then Mr. Swap Meet catches Rhea Perlman stealing, or he thinks he does, because he violates a woman by grabbing her
And
towards the ass and pushing her up against the fence, crotch first. And then he says, I got you right where I want you.
Yeah, real Billy Bush Trump moment.
Okay, yeah. Chris, tell me, what happens when she turns around?
Oh, well, it's a woman of significantly different skin color. Looks nothing like...
So not only is this Rhea Perlman, this is a black woman.
Yeah.
Who just
doesn't-
happened to be dressed exactly the same as Rhea Perlman.
Doesn't look anything like her.
Yeah.
And by the way, when he pushes that lady up against the fence, that is Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
That is not the black lady.
Yeah.
They don't have anywhere close to the same hair or look or anything. So then the van girls show up and they shove a pizza into Turtle Boy's face for some reason. There's something like, we remember you from buying
right.
turtles.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, is that a pizza? Because for some reason, Ziggy gave them an entire pizza for no reason. And then they're like, yeah, you want a slice? And he goes, yeah. And they just shove his face in a pizza. Yeah.
And there's a weird like insert shot of Tube Top's like face, like this weird like kind of winking, like right before she pushes it in, like it cuts to a different shot of her, like kind of smiling, and then finishes the shot.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's like, man, you really got that 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You shoved a fucking pizza in his face. And then we shoved a pizza in this kid's face. Isn't that great?
That's what 12-year-olds dream of, though. Like, you know, they want that.
I was like, what? Why are you doing this to that kid?
He's a shitty kid.
I mean, he
I'd do
doesn't
it.
deserve that.
Ah, sure. Why
They
not?
assaulted a child.
Not with a pizza. Come on.
That's what happens on your birthday at Chuck E. Cheese, though.
It was just weird.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
can
it
you
was
imagine
weird.
going back
but-
to Rhea Perlman, she's like, what the fuck you got over your face? He goes, 2 women in their 20s shoved a pizza in my face. Like, what?
Well, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind while I steal things from the swap meet.
Yeah.
She's not a good mother. course not.
Is it
Clearly.
those turtle bitches? So then we go to DeVito's. Roy takes DeVito's truck with the T-Bird on the back of it. That's all fucked up. Still has the plants in it, by the way. So then the truck guys, they wait outside the orphan farm for the Beaver crew. Then we go to the swap meet. Ziggy stands on top of a double-decker bus with the name of the swap meet on it, which I'm like, why? And says, hey, everybody, we're going to have the swap of the century. And why anybody's even cares about this, I don't know.
They really got the word out about that really quick.
Yeah,
in a
the
few
old
hours in the
swap of the
70s
century,
without social media or anything. I guess they just used a bullhorn.
You know, LA's a small town.
It is a small town.
All you need is a bullhorn. And
Bullhorn,
yeah.
They could have like Blues Brothers had a truck driving. That double-decker bus driving down.
Oh,
the
yeah.
street.
That's all
By
you
the
need.
way, whenever I want to talk to Tanner, I
Yeah.
just stick my head out the window and go,
Oh, yeah.
hey, do you want to be on the show?
I'm like, oh, I heard you from Glendale. Yeah, sure.
He's just, seriously, right
It
down
just
the
carries
street.
over the 110.
Yeah.
The 10 freeway. Carries on
Past
the
the
wind.
racetrack, you know?
On a clear night.
Swirls around the racetrack and just fires back at you. So then we go to the Beaver crew. They're still driving with the cover on. And then they're like, but now we've cut holes in it.
So smart.
And I just write why. Then they get a high-speed chase with the truck guys. It goes on for a while. We go to the swap meet. Mr. Swap Meet's pissed that nothing's happening. And he says, I'm afraid this crowd's going to lynch me if they don't get entertainment soon. And I write, well, two things. One, I would love to see that ending of a movie. It's just Mr. Swap Meet getting lynched at his own swap meet by a gang of irate customers. And I also write, it's the fucking swap meet. Nobody's here to see a fucking trade. They want to buy shit. They're looking for turtles. They're looking for old records, you know? They're looking for blowjobs.
He was sex in a van.
Yeah. So then we go to the chase. Now the cops are involved. We go to the swap meet. Ziggy gets his soon-to-be wife, Annie. He's like, can you make a distraction? She's like, sure, the only way I know how. And starts doing a strip show on top of the bus.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, woo, woo. For some reason, the Beaver crew's now here just in time to catcall her. Like, they're like, yeah, as their girlfriends are there.
Right there.
And they're like, well, we get it.
Yeah,
you know?
she's hot.
She's off the
I'd do
market
it.
soon.
You guys are guys. It's okay.
Boys will be boys.
It's a real hall pass, you know. Yeah. If you guys can do it in the 1 hour before they get married.
Oh, God.
So then Roy and the truck guys show up. The cops show up, and they literally just run over. Like, they almost kill people. They almost pull a fucking old man running into a farmer's market.
Monica's farmer market.
If you don't think that happened at this swap meet once or twice, you're wrong. There's definitely been I didn't know that 12-year-old was under my wheel carriage scenario. You think like it would have been great at the end? They're like, guys, it's not okay. That turtle boy's dead. That kid with the Darth Vader shirt is stuck under the fucking wheel carriage of this truck.
Oh, wait, after the end crash, one of the orphans crawls out of the Ferrari.
We think it's because he had a bunch of pizza in his eyes and he couldn't see the cars coming. Oh, the humanity. And so then we just cut to later. After the cars are all crashed and everybody's like, well, that's shitty. Cut to later and Ziggy's doing a voiceover epilogue. Like it's the end of fucking Star Wars. Yeah. Like this is like the Ewok celebration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like jub.
Right.
And he goes, we're getting married. Me and Annie got married, and we made enough money to fix the T-Bird. And I straight, why?
Yeah, what? That's not your problem, Ziggy.
Yeah, what's that? Dude, your hands are clean, man.
And he gave 10,000 blowjobs to pay for fixing that car.
Yeah. And he goes, Roy's in the mental hospital now. And I write, why?
Why?
And Mr. Swap Meet gave me half the drive-in because I'm his son.
Left field.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Because I'm his son? And that's when I had my scanner's moment where my head exploded. I said, what? You have never established that at any point in the movie that he is your dad.
He never says dad, pops.
You know? No. He just runs up and he's like, Ziggy, you're a fuck up the whole movie. And then he's like, you're getting married? Just like, surprise, not that. My only son's
son.
getting
Yep.
married.
Yeah.
No. I'm his son. So this movie ends with all Star Wars wrapped into one.
Yeah.
You know, Ziggy I'm your
Ziggy,
father.
Yeah.
And an Ewok celebration. And then I just write in my notes, when the fuck was that revealed? Like, wait, what?
Right now, just then.
I want to see a photo album, birth certificate, evidence that this happened.
That's the last line of this movie.
Yeah.
Because I'm his son working at the swap meet, and then the credits just start rolling real fast, and we just see scenes from the movie, and then it ends, and you're just like, whoa, no, you've taken me into this bizarre new world that I want to explore. Nope, done. Recommendations?
Of course.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Now, I was like thinking about this movie and watching, I'm like, why do we hate Lunchwagon? But I love Swap Meet. I don't get it.
Well, because you could say that. I mean, is there a fight over a parking space here?
No, I think that this movie it's funny, but it's so weird. It's just so, like, he's his son in the last second of the movie? Like, that describes the whole movie. It's just flying by the seat of its pants, and they're just like, you'd imagine that was the forgotten cocktail napkin with their, like, son reveal, because I really like Star Wars.
Oh, you know what? You know how we sort of just hard cut into that chase? I bet you earlier in that same reel was a scene that established.
The whole
Dad, why don't you
scene.
respect me? You call me Mr. Swap Meet.
Right now, there's
When we're at work, you call me Mr. Swap Meet.
Yeah.
right now there's a homeless man using that reel as a pillow somewhere in L.A.
Because he calls him Mr. So-and-so.
Mr.
Whatever.
Booth, right?
Yeah, Mr.
Mr.
Booth.
Booth.
He
Yeah.
never refers to him as Dad. He just
Exactly.
says Mr. Booth, Mr. Booth.
Yeah.
It's here's why I'd recommend it. I think it's funny enough, and like for what you want in that kind of movie, there's enough decent jokes. There's enough weirdness to watch, like kind of ironically. Also, there's some pretty cute girls in this movie. I think Annie very attractive.
Yeah,
I think Tube Top very attractive.
It captures just the throwaway nostalgia comedy of the time perfectly.
Yeah, it's
Perfectly.
fun. It's like
Yeah.
the van.
Yeah.
To
Oh,
me, this is
indeed.
like a hidden van.
Indeed, yes.
You know, this was good. And I was going to say, do you think that was the last cocktail napkin? Was it was written Sun Reveal? And they're like, the fuck are we going to work this in?
Yeah.
And they're
yeah.
editing it when they get that note, and they're like, "Now, like this is going to print in like literally an hour," and they're like, "Just get that fucking Smurf guy back in here, have him record that line. It's a big thing. I hear it's going to be in the next Star Wars in a couple years where there's this big sun reveal. We want to get ahead of it and go, fuck you, Lucas. We did it first. You know."
I think they mixed up the red onion with that napkin. That was actually a menu item for DeVito's craft services.
What sun reveal came first? Was it Empire Strikes Back?
This.
Or was it
It
Swap
would be
Meet?
it would be Swap Meet.
So
Yeah.
it's fucking Lucas, you ripped them off.
Yeah.
He was the one who wrote that IMDb note about it connecting to Star Wars. We're on to you. So, guys, how do you think Bobby and DeVito would fit into this? I mean, it's pretty close.
It is. I mean, they have that. There is a yellow van in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
And it crashes at the end.
and it crashes at the end. And DeVito wanting to skip town, being involved with all the shenanigans that he did, I think he just kind of takes that van to a chop shop, reassembles it, and just kind of plants it in a new part of LA, hoping that one day someone will find it with all its secrets inside and all its,
All
glory.
its secrets.
It's like Castle Grayskull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I just thought of something.
Castle
Do you
Van
think
Skull.
when the... Do you think when that waterbed popped, that turtle came out? What the hell? Like, Bobby's just holding up and... What?
Meanwhile, beads of sweat are going down DeVito's forehead. Like, oh, God.
Or do you think that van was bought post Straight Arrow? Because 1977, the van.
Yeah.
2 years later, Swap Meet. I feel like maybe there was a little swap involved. You know what I mean?
The swap of the century.
Yeah, and these two pretty ladies conned Bobby out of that van because they were like, "Oh yeah, we'd love to buy your van, but we don't have any money. All we got is these turtles." And he's like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It seems like a fair trade."
They're like, yeah, just come in the back of the van and maybe we'll work out a deal. And he does go back, and then there's the beavers with the bats. Yeah, you get to sign
there
one of
we
these
go.
papers.
Yeah, sign that pig slip, sir.
Bobby decides unwisely to put up a fight, though, and he's never found again.
Oh yeah.
Well, a skeleton is found in a field.
Oh
years
my
later.
God! They found his remains on that orphan farm. Oh, it's like a real Texas Chainsaw. They're like,
One of the orphans runs around
1977,
just wearing
the body of Bobby
Bobby Hampton.
Bobby Hampton was found on this farm. I would love to see it as like a Chainsaw Massacre with like a farm of orphans that just pick them to the bone.
Come on, Daddy Leatherface. They're like piranhas. They go out there.
That's like those are Leatherface's kids, you know. He settled down. He moved to L.A. He has a family now.
Oh, a little leatherette, you know.
Yeah, he's got Leatherette. You never see the parents.
No.
And so his kids, you know, they just go around, and every once in a while, when a little strangler gets over there. Tanner, do you have any other one? I mean, we've all kind of done this.
Yeah, I don't have an independent one.
Well, thanks again for joining us on another episode of Grindbin. You can find us grindhousefilm.com, Twitter, we're at GrindPod, Instagram, the Grindbin Podcast. Tanner, promote all you want.
I will be at WonderCon in Anaheim,
All right.
March 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I am in Artist Alley booth F36, maybe. I'm also on a panel Friday night.
Killer.
Unnecessary Debates at 6 o'clock.
Nice.
I'll be debating unnecessary things in room something. Look it up if you really care. And follow me on Twitter at MikeIsErnie at twitter.edu/garbage file.
.gov.
Can you, do you get to pick the topic of debate?
No, it's a surprise. You get
Oh.
I think we get 24-hour notice on
Guys, we're going to be debating swap meet.
merits, pro con.
Bobby, flush Tom Seaver.
Let's get out of here before the cops come. Come on.
Come on! Get yourself together. Come on! Get yourself some pleasure. Get yourself a real good deal, yeah. Oh, if you're looking for that special treasure, or just a little bit of fresh adventure, here's where you will find a chance to let yourself unwind, a place where you can have a real good time at the swap meet. Yeah, we got that special buy at the swap meet. Guaranteed to satisfy at the swap meet. Come on, Lord, we gonna make you hot. Yeah. All right.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the tea. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky got no real rhythm. We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore. What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get green.